Hey guys, thanks for coming in. This is Rob Mitchell for today's webinar presented by Steve with the Stock Index Trading Room, Advanced Patterns in Order Flow that Lead Price on the Trapped Trader Oscillator. I'd just like to share a couple things before Steve gets started and give him a nice introduction. And the charts that we work with in our trading rooms have several panels in them, and the various components of those panels are intended to show you things that you couldn't just see by looking at a chart. And one of those that Steve's going to be focusing on today, the Trapped Trader Oscillator. We've identified at least a dozen patterns with that, and Steve's going to share some new ones today, so I'm real excited to be attending here myself. I always learn something when Steve does a webinar. Steve first came into my trading room, maybe it was about four and a half years ago. And I could tell from the very beginning that that he was a different sort of member. He tested hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of charts and shared the work that he did with the room, and that eventually led to him running our stock index room for us. So Steve has a lot of experience. Another thing that I really love about Steve is he puts things in simple terms. I tend to be a little bit more abstract, and so I have a great appreciation for Steve's ability to explain things and put things in simple terms that are easy to understand. So without any further delay, guys, here's Steve with the Stock Index Trading Room. He's going to show you some cool patterns in order flow that tend to lead the price. Yeah, thanks.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Thanks, Rob. One, for being here to host this. Two, for giving us these brilliant tools to work with. Three, for looking over our shoulder daily to help guide us in the direction that we want to go. None of this would be possible without Rob. If you're not familiar with Rob, he is a World Cup trading champion, and basically we're taking his tools and his approach to trading, and people in a room sort of customize it to what fits their belief, and we're good with that. If you're not familiar with what we do here, I'm going to read 7 or 8 minutes to you. We're going to look at a chart and we're going to be done. We could go for hours, and of course we won't. Rob said 12 patterns in TTO. Easily we would have that many winning patterns, and of course, we can't trade that. So we ask people to find what makes sense to them and what they see and what they like and what they can trust. Couple of things. One, I'm not a salesperson. I'm not here to try to put, some sort of scam on you. So you can put your credit card up. We're going to share some information that works. This stuff works. And some people, keeping an open mind, look at this and go, wow, I think this could help me. They come and change their lives. Other people look at it and they don't get it. If you don't get it, you don't get it. Nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of ways that this works. So you're not going to hear a slick presentation from a salesman, just a trader, just somebody straight up with you. And we're going to show you what we do and how we go about it, what's important to us. And we're not gonna be here forever today. Okay, a couple of simple ideas, and we're gonna go on down the road, get ready for tomorrow. If you've never seen this, please look at this and take it to heart. There's some good stuff here. Personal information. I was a golf professional for 35 plus years. Played a little bit, didn't play. Didn't scare anybody with my playing paralysis as a professional golfer, but I became a pretty good teacher. It took me about 15 years to learn what to teach, and it took me about 5 years after that to learn how to teach. In the last 15 or 16 years, I taught at a very high level. I was elected to the BJA of America in '84. I finished in the top 5% of my business school, School 1 and School 2, and I was the only member of 300 plus people that went the 2 years in a row. You study for a year and go for a week, and study for a year and go for a week. I was the only person to do that. Not particularly anything spectacular other than Yeah, I'm not afraid to work. And it was important, and it still is important for me to be above average. So the thing I'm the most proud of, the next two things, I have a master's of instruction from the Golf Institute. That's Homer Kelly's program. And with that, we delved into very deeply into sports psychology to help people think like winners. And then this is kind of important. I've never shared this. I developed a program. It's called 100 Days to Break 100. It's designed for adults that have never played golf. And 73 people went through it. 72 people broke 100 the first day they ever played 18 holes of golf. And basically how I did that was I kept people from having bad destructive habits. But see, this is not about me. This is about you. This is about you reaching your goals, not me reaching my goals. So with that in mind, let's get to it. I will never be able to share anything more important to you than this. Every event and circumstance in life has a cause and an effect. 95% of all people focus on the effect. People a whole lot wiser than me for centuries have talked about this idea. 5% of the people focus on the cause. Now, whether that's by default or by intention, the people that create the effect they want don't focus on the effect, they focus on the cause. Now, in trading, this is incredibly important because when we know the cause of future price movement, it'll be the difference in being in front of that movement or behind that movement. Now, have you ever found yourself continually trying to catch up with a moving market? Are we late getting involved in market expansion? Are you one of the very few traders that have determined in order to consistently be successful in trading, we must find a way to get in front of future market movement most of the time? Now, what causes this price movement? There's one thing and one thing only, and some of y'all, most of y'all probably know this. This is no big surprise. Order flow. The amount of new orders in a market will always be the only factor that affects price movement. I mean, if we get an abundance of buy orders at a certain point that are new money coming into the market, it will respond up, period. If we get, likewise, if we get the orders on the other side and it's an overwhelming amount, we will go down. And price has to respond to order flow. And we're not going to talk about the difference in order flow and volume. Okay, volume could just be people taking profits, and of course then the market will congest. So memorize this: order flow causes price to move. Price will always follow current order flow. Knowing this and then having a method to capitalize on this is the difference in winning and struggling in our traders. Hey, Linda, how are you? No, but most people are interested in who they're listening to. Not everybody, but most people want to know if this guy's credible or not. And that's why we do that. So thanks for listening. Okay, thank you very much. Rob developed Smart Trapped Trader Oscillator to identify where there's an unbalanced number of traders that are likely to be trapped on the losing side of upcoming price movement. And we can find areas that give us up to historic 80, 85, even higher percent historic track record. We don't know what the future is going to hold any more than you do, but we know what the past has been like, and that's what we're gonna look at that. But Rob's designed Trapped Trader Oscillator to help us get on the correct side, the opposite side of where weak money is trapped. And then when they get the market returns to balance and these trapped traders are squeezed out, they exit their losing position, and those positioned to take advantage of that will almost always benefit. And that's what we do in the stock index trading room. So how do we read order flow? Trap Trader, we're going to show you briefly. I'm not going to teach you how to do it. If you, again, open-minded, look at it and you go, hey, this looks pretty good. We work diligently in a room every day on this. And if it doesn't make sense, you know, it doesn't make sense. But anyway, in us like an X trading room, we've got several ways to use Trap Trader Oscillator, TTO, to read order flow. And this allows us to position ourselves in front of future price movement. Excuse me. A majority of the time, not all the time, but a majority of the time. So Trap Trader Oscillator in an extreme, TTO patterns, and Trap Trader Oscillator in a 50X or a midpoint line, and that reads the strength of immediate order flow. And once you catch on to this, you'll understand this is something incredibly powerful. So we've got some signals, smart patterns generated by order flow. Here's why we use signals. One, basically, it's the only method that can be measured and improved. If we're entering the market helter-skelter, well, this time I sold it, but yesterday I bought it here, and those types of things, you can't track that and you can't improve it. You'll never be better than you are today. Signals repeat, and we can measure what we do. And if we want to make it better, we can make it better. And I'm going to show you some ways that we do that in the room. But we have the Batman. Some of y'all have seen this before. TTO trap. I couldn't find one of these. We'll look at, I'm not going to teach these patterns. TTOX in extreme. And when they're in trend, they're brilliant. And then we have a signal called the combo signal that I plead being lazy by trading this. It's just a no-brainer signal, and it's just too easy not to trade, in my opinion. So we'll look at that. In fact, let's do this. Let's do this real quick. I'm going to pull up a chart for a second, and I've got some things marked on this. This is today's chart. Let me change this. Here's a strong Batman we talked about. Here's a signal we're going to talk about in a second, and this one's in a second. TTO in extreme is just anytime you see Trap Trader Oscillator over the purple line, you think, is that a good place to sell it? Yep. Is that a good place to sell it? Yep. Is that a good place to sell it? Yep. And when you catch these in trend, it's brilliant. Basically, we've established range expansion is going to be down, and then we get too many people long, and they're fixing to get hammered most of the time, not all the time. And we're aware of that, and away we go. So Trap Trader Oscillator in an extreme. Here's another weak Batman. And a weak Batman is simply red, green, red with type 1 divergence on the right side of the structure. Trap Trader Oscillator is reading the order flow in this bar to be, in this case, exceptionally stronger in selling than it was in this bar, even though price is the same. So I have maybe 2 times the selling pressure here than here with the same price. So that's a huge discount. And it's a huge discount that I get for taking that signal. And here's a strong Batman. It's the opposite, green, red, green, type 1 divergence. Huge advantage for getting in the market here. And it goes up. And of course, you can see we had another one brilliant there, and then one here at the end of the day. So that's the Batman Trap Trader Oscillator in an extreme. If this dot is higher than the last dot, then it's most likely to continue up. That's all. It's real simple. Like Rob said, it's a real simple approach to trading. But those are those patterns, the Batman, Trap Trader Oscillator, Batman, Trap Trader Oscillator in an extreme. And then we have a single bar fake out breakout signal that is as effective as these are. So I'll go ahead. Those are the patterns. Let me move that out of our way. And now let's start getting into the brass tacks of what I want to share with you today. The importance of the midpoint line, and we'll show you that in a second, or the 50X line on Trapped Trader Oscillator. The direction of order flow, price direction, is like a dream come true for most traders. But leave it to Rob to take this incredible concept to the next level with the introduction of a TTOX or a 50X midpoint concept. Pay attention, please. This concept gives immediate insight into the overall order flow strength entering the market at a specific bar. So we now have the ability to determine how likely an immediate continuation is with our potential signals, or maybe we're getting weak order flow and we don't particularly want to trade a choppy market, and we're going to stay out of the way with that. So we'll look at that in a second. I'm going to introduce you to a couple of new signals and a concept, smart breakpoints, and I'll show you what those are. What a lead out is, they're brilliant, and we use smart breakpoints and lead out to read order flow at a 80 plus and even a 90 plus historic win rate. Now, let's talk about that. We don't know the future. We have, I'm going to show you a signal that's well over 90%, and it is, and I promise you it is. And Rob will laugh when he sees what it is. He only told me 6 months ago to start working on it. Bless his heart. He's got a lot of patience. But we're busy. We've got a lot going on. So it may never win again. We'll show you something that, 96%, it may never win again. It may never lose again. We simply don't know and aren't representing that we know the future. So, but the final piece of the order flow puzzle is smart breakpoints. And again, it's easier to show you than tell you, but it identifies for us immediate price direction, both continuations and reversal. And I'll explain this on a chart. We're getting some brilliant continuations and then reversals when we can't get a smart breakpoint takeout. And again, I'll show you on the chart. It's easier to explain. This is basically so I wouldn't forget to share that with you. When order flow is strong enough to cause a Trapped Trader Oscillator to exceed a previous smart breakpoint, we often get reversals, and we'll show you some of those today and how brilliantly it called that. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to pull this up, and this is again today's chart. We're not going to go over the whole chart. We just can't do it. It's just, or you wouldn't. You don't want to. Here's the midpoint line or the 50X line, and this is just, Rob was talking about the panels. We spend 90% of our time, 85% of our time in trading living between this white line and this white line with Trapped Trader Oscillator. And in a minute, you're going to see why. And this midpoint line tends to be the determining factor. Is the order flow in this selling bar strong enough to continue? Why, yes, alfalfa, it is. Groovy. Pretty cool thing. Let's see if we can find a place real quickly. Oh, here's some. We've got some up. This is trying to work up through this, up through this, up through this, up through this. Huh. That must mean this move is very, very strong to the downside. And that's exactly what it means. Well, you can see, when did it finally reverse? Real simple. This is real simple. This is just basic elementary stuff, team. Trapped Trader Oscillator worked its way through these breakpoints in the midpoint line. So it gets down, it can't get up, it can't get up, it can't get up, it can't get up. Oh, short. Oh, it got up. Okay, well, I don't know that I'm going to trade the long side. You may or may not. But you can see out of all of this, it's the first place that was more than a couple of bar reversal. Now, each one of these large bars are 8 ticks reversals 8, continuations 4 ticks. So when we see this and it goes that's probably 10 or 12 points without a reversal bar against it. Okay. So Trapped Trader Oscillator gets under. We're calling this a TTO hook, and they're brilliant. And then it gets above it. Oh, okay. Well, you can do whatever you want to with that. You can reverse if you have to get both sides, and that's fine. We can do that with what we have. Okay, so does that make sense? You know, here we are, we're up. We clear it and then take off. Okay, nothing's perfect. But as you see Trapped Trader Oscillator get up here, and it bounces and it bounces and it reverses and it hits and goes and hits and goes. Yeah, every reversal fires back through Trapped Trader Oscillator. You don't ever have to wonder how strong the order flow is to the upside. Right there, that tells us. This tells us, this tells us, this tells us, this tells us. And you can see we keep going up. Okay, so the midpoint line is everything with the strength. And it's pretty simple if you're watching it, just to say, hey, it fired up or it fired down. Now we have some signals that are determinant on this going through the midpoint line on the first reversal bar. Okay, we have one that I'm going to show you. I'll show you that in the end. That's really cool. So let me do this. Let me get over here and let's talk about these lead outs and what we've come up. We have a trade called the no name, which is, here's how that came about. We started trading it. Actually, I'd noticed and other people had noticed and whatever, we started trading it. And it was just like, hey, team, this is too good. I got to go ahead and share it with you. I don't have style, but look at it and you can come up with your own program for trading it. And somebody said, what are we going to call it? And I said, oh, we'll just call it no name for a while. And that was months ago and it still is. But basically, here's how the no name works. Okay. We have these smart breakpoints, this green line and this red line. Okay. When we can't violate, and I'll show you that in a minute, when we can't violate these green lead outs, or we barely violate it and then we come back, up order flow is very weak. Very, very weak here, very weak here, very weak here, very weak. Starting to strengthen, it gets strong here. Get off the short train. That's all, that's it. So what we have is this situation where we have any breaking, Trapped Trader Oscillator breaking any red smart breakpoint lead out. This red horizontal line here, okay? Breaking this red line here, breaking this red line, breaking this red line. Very powerful. But what we look for in a no name is that we want a retest and a failure. Okay, so we're going to have this point, and then we get a reversal dot that doesn't take out a green lead out. We call it a no name. So we take out red, we don't take out green. I'll show you a minute. Well, here, I can show you here. We take out green, we don't take out red. There's a buy right there. I don't think it went very far. 3 points. Whatever. So anyway, so we break and then we reverse, and there's our no name entry, and there's our no name entry, and there's one, and there's, nope, that one, there's one. And then we break out here, we get a no name here. This is a combo signal. And here's some no names over here. See, we break this red and we come up. We actually get one. How about this, Rob? I know you know this, other people. We get this on this trap. We get a no name on this trap right here. We're trading this now. And here's, we can't take out green, right? Well, if we can't take out green, baby, we're going down. And it's that simple. It is that simple. Here's a takeout up, and we buy this 2 or 3 points there. and on and on and on. So let me pull this over. This is, let me see how many days. This is, the month. This is the month of February. And I don't know if you've not seen this. This is a brilliant piece of software. It's called Trademark Smart Trademarkers. And I'm gonna take about 5 minutes and show you how this works. But what we have for our no name, and what I did with this is I didn't filter it any other way. If we broke this, in fact, this is marked as a cell. Oh no, yeah, no, it picks those up. It's okay. We're at 86, and you know, we've moved our stop down to 11 from 15, so you know, really, really good. So if we were to have traded this for 1 point, 1 bar, using an 11 tick stop and entered all of these, 86% would have gone in our favor. 2.28 to 1, more likely to be profitable than not profitable on every entry. That's a pretty cool number. Twice as likely to be profitable. And, you know, might have wanted to hold it for 2. Paid 30, a little better. I'm going to make these numbers better for you in a minute. I'm going to show you something that we've discovered that I think you'll like. And you can use whether you joined the room or not. You can use what I'm going to share with you in a minute. And then I've got a freebie at the end of the presentation. Okay. So not bad. 173 we don't particularly like. We don't like anything less than 200% more likely to win than lose. But why is that? Because we can. Because we have tools that can do that. And so if we trade for 16 tick, you know, actually I ought to take that 11, but I'm not going to. Again, I'm going to show you something here. Your jaw will drop. I'm almost sure here. So we can trade it for 1.2 points, 4 points. This is 4 points. We can go up to 5. I'm going to make this number. I'm going to change this number for you in a minute and show you some things that you will want to apply tomorrow in your trading. And this, Chris Trent developed this, and he did this to match the Superdom in Ninja. So we have break even and a trailing EMA, and we can build templates. And I mean, I could spend 45 minutes teaching this, and I'm not going to, but if you're serious about your trading, you need to look into this, because what happens is this. Let me take this back down. And I'm going to take a couple of these away just for a point. We're at 70%. So what we're going to do is we mark winner, 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 loser, loser, winner, 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 loser, loser, winner, 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 loser, winner, 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 loser, 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 loser. Right? 70% can lose 6 in a row and win 12 in a row. Winner, 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 winner. The good news about this is that our loss size is so close to our win size that it's incredibly profitable. But we go win, 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 lose, win, 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 lose, win, 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 lose, win, 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 and we start laughing and we go, you know, I believe I can trust this. And you start to own the trade. You start to own the signal. Okay. We can tell you what days we could go day of the week. What day of the week is it better to trade this on? Boy, Tuesday. Oh, this is just for a week. That's no good. We could tell you what 30-minute period is the best to trade. You probably don't want to miss them on 12 to 12:30. Okay. Probably want to let the open happen. And then trading gets better for an hour and a half. Y'all know that. You know, and then it sort of gets choppy in the afternoon. But this will allow you to do whatever, whenever, and adjust what you're doing. So now let's look at this. We would never trade this 16 tick, 45%, 4% edge. It's just, we would never do that. But if we're going for 16 ticks, how about if we got to say 9? We locked in most of that. And then we had some runners and not. Let's watch this, 45% and 3,200. Whoa, 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 whoa. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. That can't be. So not doing anything any different, but knowing doing this for a 4-point trade versus this, you more than double your money. No more risk, no more entries, no more work, no more effort. You more than double your money just on that one little thing. And this is what we do in the room continuously, all the time, is checking things. Can we do the same thing and make it a little bit better? So anyway, that's the no name signal. We break this red, we come up, we don't take out a green. We sell it, sell it, sell it. We take out green. Let's find us a buy here. Yeah, we had one in here. Didn't work very well. Sometimes they don't work. I wish that weren't the case, right? Buys didn't work very well today. Probably noticed that. These Batmans worked pretty good. Now, this was not filtered in any way. I didn't consider this and that and the other and any. This was just because everybody in the room has a little different opinion about, well, we should do this and shouldn't do that and all of that. And that's great. So what we do is say, if you just did them all, this is what happens. And you can adjust it and manage it and do things like that any way you would like. Let me do this. I showed you, this is the lazy way, my opinion, the lazy way to trade. Combo signal, I think, is the easiest one to find. Trapped Trader Oscillator, when it is in extreme and reverses out, either through this red hash right beside it or an open zone, we're almost 90% to get a couple of bar. We're like 86% to get 2 bar. We're 90 to get 1, 80 to get 86 to get 2. Okay. So if I get down here and I have this situation right here, it's just like, okay, I mean, you know, one or two, well, I can't say that. This is a very, very strong signal. We've enjoyed trading it and we're having a lot of fun with that. So that's the combo signal. It's really simple. We get a green smart price, IM smart price band, and Trapped Trader Oscillator undervalued. 90% to go up. I've got this. This will surprise some people. This is any reversal bar that matches smart price band. We have an 83% chance to get 1 bar, 70 to get 2. Now you'll never trade it. But it's like, okay, if I've got a cyan smart price band and a green reversal bar, I got 83% chance to go up. I've got 90% from here. So getting that bar is not a given because there are none, but it's the closest thing that I can give you to a given. So this is what the combo signal did. It looks like for the month, looks like it's been a good month for it, and December was spectacular. January was pretty good. But a really nice situation here. And again, we could go to the 16 and make your jaw drop with that number. That number, you know, that number will be doubled or tripled with correct management as we teach it in the room. And you can just set that into your super line. You don't have to drag stuff around for that. You can do that beforehand. So a reversal bar with a cyan smart price band gets 1. Red smart price band gets 1, gets 1. That's red there, gets 1. It's green. Oh, it didn't there, gets 1. And you can just track it, gets 1, gets 1. Gets 1, gets 1, gets 1, gets 1. So again, I don't think you would want to trade that. But knowing that I can trade in the direction of Smart Price Band and be 85% likely for it to head in my favor on any reversal bar, and then I can put this with Smart Momentum Type 2, TTO. This is a too many people. What is this telling us? Too many people short. Well, let's punish them. Okay, let's go with them. Boom, there we go. That's our bread and butter signal right there. Okay, we've got one more and then I'm done. We'll wrap this up. What time is it? Oh yeah, early. So here's probably maybe the best thing I've ever seen. Let me find, here it is. People ask, why do you have goofy names? I've actually had some, why do you have such goofy names? We have names because rather than saying, hey team, we've got a green, red, green reversal bar and Trapped Trader Oscillator is in the extreme and above the extreme, and we have type 1 and there it goes. It's gone. We say, hey, there's strong Batman. There's TTOX color on color. There's a Santa Claus trade. Now we'll maybe come up with a different name, but what we do here, it's a single reversal bar from an extreme. We like that. We like selling from an extreme, and it fires through this green, the last green lead out, if it had been extended over, and it fires through red. It fires through green and it fires through red. Same bar. It's, are you laughing, Rob? Are you here? Rob's here, he's laughing. He may argue, I don't know, but at one point I think it was his favorite. Now, it doesn't trade, we don't get a lot of those. Here we fired through this red and we fired through this green right here. These were 5 easy points counter trend. This thing was just smoking down. Okay. And we had this double lead out that's telling us what? We may be headed up. We get down here and fire up again. So anyway, that's a single bar engulfing on smart breakpoint lead out signal here and here. Now I'm going to do this. I'm going to show you. Let me show you how this works. Oh, I've already got it loaded up. See, I could go in here and I could pull that file up, or I could pull a phantom or the no name. I could pull the no name up and load from 121 to 211. I could load all those and then do some summaries and add to it and things like that. But we have our single engulfing TTO here. All right, so we already have that. So we have 27, and this is correct. I've looked at this several times. That is correct. So here's what I want to do. I want to buy this. Does everybody understand why? We break. Now this is brand new. I introduced this to the room. Sorry, Rob. I introduced this to the room today. Okay, this is brand new, and I did this research for it last night. So this is for the month. Okay, so here we have an entry, and we're going to buy it. So all we do is click on buy, and then click anywhere right there. Okay, so what it did is it registered another buy, 28 in 1. So we need to sell, we need to register this sell, don't we? Because I didn't do these today. I wanted to show you. These were the only 2 today. This one was very close. We really didn't fire through that, but we fired through that. And I think over time, I'm going to look at that and go, yeah, probably I'm going to want to promote and help our members trade. See, my job is not to trade my account. My job is to find these things for the 2 hours that I'm in a room each day to help our members find them and benefit. So we're going to sell this, okay? Sell anywhere on this panel, and it registered a win. So now we're 29 and 1, and we can add our 2. Look at that. So I've got a 15 tick stop, 16 tick target, and I'm 70% likely to hit it. With no management, we could tweak these numbers and it would be real impressive. But anyway, that's smart trade markers and the way it works. And believe me, when you start marking signals with this and you start doing your recap and things like that, you won't wonder. I mean, you know, and let's this, I would not have believed that had I not checked this like 4 times. Rob told me when he shared it with me one morning in Skype, he said, man, it almost never misses. And he's exactly right. It almost never misses. So, so anyway, Santa Claus trade or whatever we're going to come up, but basically it's a reversal bar that fires through an engulfing green lead out and red lead out saying, man, we have phenomenally strong selling order flow from a double top. And there it went. And it's just that easy, team. It's just that simple with the tools that we have. And the way we use these tools is that we'll put 2 or 3 things together so our win percentage is super high and it's not hard to trade. You're not having to look and go, oh, we're here and here and we've got this here and that's there and this is here. That would be crazy. You could never do that. I don't care how long you tried to work with this, you could never do that. But the way we have built, constructed, and teach and define our signals, it's incredibly easy. See, here's a combo signal right here. Bread and butter. Trap Trader Oscillator's over, I want to sell it. Smart price band is red, I want to sell it. I have a double sale there, boom. And it only went 4 points. And these are really good for 5, but, you know, I mean, it headed in our favor. So, yeah, no. So that's that. Let me go ahead and get this out of the way. That's all I have as far as that's concerned. What have I got? What's next? What time is it? Yeah, we're not going to do that. We've got a new signal called the colorful phantom, and it picks up where our combo signal that I showed you, the powerful results for the combo signal, it picks up where it left off. We were missing some because Trap Trader Oscillator, the market was so strong. Let me find this. Let me find a really good move. Here we go. So here we're overvalued up here in the 39.12 area. We don't get overvalued again until the 95. That's 17 points. That's unacceptable not to get an entry with that. So we've started using some other things, and a colorful phantom would have been one of those, and it's incredibly good. So we're not a one-trick pony. We've got other stuff. Let's see, benefits of the trading room. Yeah, this is important. Learn price action patterns to become part of your consciousness. I mean, these things after a period of time, when you focus on one thing and one thing intently, you can do it in your sleep. You'll get to where you cannot not do it. And that will be a good thing. That'll be a good time when you're looking at it and you don't question it anymore, because trading is not analytical, it's intuitive. Learn and benefit from advanced Trap Trader Oscillator patterns. Trap Trader Oscillator is brilliant. And you've seen today the way we use it in a room, and we're getting these results, okay? So we're pretty stoked right now. Benefit from a room that world-class traders have shared their insight and methods over the years. We've had some brilliant traders come in and leave wonderful things with us. And we've got a lot of great traders in Stuck in X Trading Room now. Secrets of trend and range expansion. We didn't talk about that today. We get range expansion right about 85% of the time. That's just, are we going up? Are we reversing? Smart Patterns trading system. I've shown you 2 or 3 of those today. Thousands and thousands of hours of members and users, refinement, 25 years of World Cup trading champion Rob Mitchell. And Rob's still working on stuff, y'all. That's the exciting part. You know, he's still finding things. You go, hey, look at this. And it's just like, wait a minute. Benefit from special content geared around personal development, personal growth. It's critical to your development as a trader. Because let's face it, trading is more than knowing where you should punch your button. Trading is more than knowing where you should punch it. Because if it was all it was where do you punch it, nobody would lose, right? But we all question and we think and we struggle with ourselves. And we deal a lot in the room with that. Let's see. Here's some things, some cool things that some of my friends are saying. This is important. You know, this is important that you stand and say, hey, people are, you know, there are people come in with an open mind and look at it and go, what can I learn and how can I get better? I'm going to wrap up with this. I talk about this in a room all the time. You put 10 people in a room and it doesn't matter, you know, what kind of people there are, but you put 10 people in a room and they're all open. Wait a minute. They all won't be open to suggestions. Put 10 people in a room. The most fortunate person in that room is a person that knows the least. I'm Sergeant Schultz and I know nothing. The most unfortunate person in a room is a person that knows everything or thinks they do, because they're not going to get any better. Right? The person that knows it all is not going to get any better. You can't improve. The person that's there and say, you know, I could learn. I don't know. Let me see. They're the people that are blessed when you realize that there's, we can get better. And regardless of where your trading is, I believe you can get better. Some people will look at this and go, wow, that's great. I can use that. And we'll take advantage. But we're here to help. That's it. Again, not a sales pitch. We're not going to ask you to, you know, you'll save $9,000 if you buy in the next 12 seconds, you know, which is, you've been scammed enough. You don't need that. You need somebody to say, hey, if this looks good and you want to come join us, we'll work with you and do all we can to help you succeed. If you have questions, stock index support at stockindextradingroom.com. And if we can do anything to help you reach your trading goals, that's what we live for. And that's true. I love helping people. That's why I taught golf for 37 years. So Rob, if you're still here, that's it. I'm done. That's all I got.
Thanks, Steve. Hey, Steve, Gordon had a question about signal calling in the room. Let me, before you answer that though, let me point something out. We've been doing this a long time. My trading room, we're about 6.5. We're going into our 7th year this year. And every day, that's a lot of hours of watching these patterns over and over and over again. There's no end. We got so many patterns. Okay. Now, Steve showed you maybe 4 patterns today. Okay. What I've learned is, and what we discussed quite a bit, get good at one thing before you get good at 5. You know, get good at one thing before you get good at 5. Now, Gordon had asked about calling signals in the room. There are actually more signals than any one person would probably keep track of. Now, in Steve's room there, I think you guys focus on combos, and we might have different names for these signals in the various trading rooms, because each moderator might have a little different name for it. But it's real important to get good at a signal, and our training is kind of wrapped around what these signals are and identifying them. Because of that, any one moderator might miss a signal. And so what we do is we provide the training for you to get to know the signals and to become an expert at it. Yeah. And so because there's so many opportunities on the chart, but I think the bread and butter for you guys, Steve, correct me. You guys are doing the combo, this one that you call the no name. I call that TTO leading and
Hello?
hook. It's
I
basically that
can't hear
pattern.
Rob. Can you hear Rob?
Can't hear me? I'm seeing my mic moving.
Okey
Does
dokey.
everybody hear me all right?
I can now.
Okay, cool. So Steve, any given day in a room, are you, which of these signals are you calling out?
Well,
And,
here's the way we handle it, Rob.
okay, cool.
And here's the way I handle that question. Gordon, you may want to trade 3 or 4 exceptional signals a day, and somebody else want to trade 20 or 30 times a day. Or you may want to trade 20 or 30 times a day, and somebody else only want 2 or 3 great signals that they can take full advantage of. So you have to decide for yourself, is excellence important, and can we get 50 excellent entries in a market? And that just depends on the way you would define it. Here's what we endorse in the room: 200% reward to risk with a 70 or greater % chance of being profitable. That's it. We focus on money management and maximizing reward and mitigating risk to the greatest degree that we can. Now, not all traders are interested in that, and we understand. So there are times, Gordon, that the market just isn't conducive to excellent trading. And I've learned from people like Rob that it's just best to let people get beat up and leave it alone and find the great stuff and trade that. But not everybody agrees with that. So we would never say, see, here's the thing. There are traders that think everybody should trade the same way and the same thing. And of course, that can't be true, because we have people that have a lot of money that want to trade for excitement, and they like getting beat up. And people, now I gotta do this. Since I opened it, I gotta do this. When Rob knows where I'm going, if I'm trading for the thrill of victory, I'm trading for excitement, for the rush, for the adrenaline rush, I will lose. I will do crazy things and lose once I get bored of winning. It's called intermittent reinforcement. Because if I go win, it's boring. But I want to rush. So I like the unknown. And so I start trading crazy. So there are people that want to trade for the thrill, and that's great. We have them in the room and we love them. But I'm not going to call 28 signals in bad market conditions so people will have fun. Okay. But I'm not going to trade your account, and I'm not going to trade anybody else's account. We're going to say, hey, these are the signals. This is where the market's set up. This is our key levels. We had a 12-point trade today that was 80% likely to happen for 12 points, and it did it like clockwork. We're going to share that, and people can trade it or not trade it. So I do mark things. in the room, and I mark if it has 70% or greater win probability with a 2-to-1 reward to risk factor, I'll mark it. And if it doesn't, I won't. And your people are free to trade whatever they want to trade. But we don't know it subconsciously, but we like losing enough so winning is fun if we're trading for the thrill. So I hope that helped. I hope that addressed that and answered that question. We mark signals, but only great ones. Like we really didn't kick in. We didn't have much to trade until it broke down this morning. And then we just, traded the heck out of the move down. So
Yeah, so hopefully that answers the question.
I hope so.
And the other thing about the room, at least for my room, and as Steve had alluded to earlier, we've got traders in the room that are just exceptional. And in a lot of ways for me, I consider a lot of these guys are better than I am, and they're sharing in the room, their research and everything else. So I kind of, in a lot of ways, I look at the rooms as a collaboration. Like Steve had said, we got people that come into the rooms that have brought, and sometimes it's just like Steve had also said, sometimes it's the guy that knows the least just asks a question and you go, wait a minute, what? And then just the simplest question leads to the most awesome discoveries. But so I put a coupon code in there for you. The system's on the in the room, and you can trade off of the charts there. As you see that it works, you can certainly get the software. We've got lease programs and things like that. But I think Ron's asking, Steve, what are the bread and butter signals? I think the combo, actually, I think any of these are bread and butter signals that Steve showed today.
Well, the combo was my favorite, and we highlight, I almost never miss one of those just because they're.
Yeah, because that's what you follow.
Well, the reason we follow it, it's over 80% likely to be 2.5 to 1 reward to risk. So it's like, up until the single bar engulfing, I couldn't find anything any better. The combo was the best thing that we had over, like you take over a 6-month period, that's the best signal that we have. But we've had days that we didn't get a combo signal. We didn't get one.
And I've seen that before.
Yeah, I don't know how many people would be, okay with sitting in a room waiting on I don't care how good it is.
Yeah.
Some people would, some people got no problem with that, and other people, need to fire it 10 or 15 or 20 times. We get that. We understand that. So thanks, Rob. Yeah, if everybody will sign up, we'll post this, the recording on YouTube. Just go to.
Yeah, we'll get it on there probably tomorrow. I usually try and get them on the next day. And then special member is the coupon code for the room. You can do that all as one string, or you can say special member. It doesn't matter if it's all caps or all lowercase, but all caps works. And we'd love to see you come aboard and get involved with the sharing that's going on and the signals. As I had mentioned before, just kind of capping both ends of the presentation here, what is on these charts is highly, highly intentional. And so in that first panel up at the top, you've got, and we didn't even really talk about the smart momentum today, but you've got the price action up at the top, and you've got the order flow in the second panel down, and then you got the momentum, and all those come together. The momentum tells you things that you can't see by looking at the chart, and the price action stands on its own, and the Trapped Trader Oscillator tells you if the order flow is leading out or not, and that ends up with any number of patterns that are predictive. And but as Steve was saying, it's not just about firing the trades. A lot of times when you're a beginner, you're talking about signals. A lot to be said for money management. And Steve was showing you some things in trade markers there where he's shifting the money management around, and it can make just a huge difference. Just small differences in behavior can make huge differences in performance. I get that coupon for you again there, Robert, if I can find it. But I think that's what we got for you today, and I'd like to thank you all for coming in for the webinar and learning a little bit about what we do and letting us share with you and taking the time in your afternoon to do that. Thanks, Steve, for presenting. And
my pleasure. Thank you, Rob.
As well. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank
Happy
you.
trails.
We'll see you on the next one.